A very good morning class 8. So in this video lecture we will discuss your chapter 6 of moral science, which is your do good too good. So it's a story about a little girl who is full of compassion, endurance and goodness. So we will study this chapter. So let's read it. It says, there was a little girl who was very poor. Her parent had died long ago. She had no place to live in and no bed to sleep in and nothing to eat except one piece of bread. As you can see over this picture, she was having only a single piece of bread. One day, after saying her prayers, she put on her jacket and cap, took her piece of bread and went out. When she had walked a little way, there was an old man sitting who had nothing to eat. He looked at the piece of bread and said, "Will you give me your bread, little girl? I am very hungry." The little girl thought for a while and said, "Yes." Then she gave him her piece of bread because she was very kind-hearted person. That's why she had easily give her piece of bread to that old man. The girl was hungry herself, but she endured the pangs of hunger and walked along. Here the pangs means painful hunger. Okay. As she had walked a little farther, she came across a child sitting by the path, crying. "I'm so cold," murmured the child. So that boy say in very low voice that "I'm so cold. Won't you give me your little cap to keep my head warm?" The little girl thought a little and took off her cap and put it gently on the child's head. She was hungry and cold, but she did not complain and walked on. After an hour, she met another child, this one shivering in cold. Here, shivering means shaking slightly because of cold. Okay, so that boy was shivering because of cold. Said to her, "Won't you give me your jacket, little girl?" And as usual, she thought a little and gave away her jacket. She moved on shivering and starving. Starving means suffering from hunger. Farther on, she saw another child crouching by the wayside. "Oh, little girl," screamed out the child, "won't you give me your dress? I have nothing to keep myself warm." God knows this time, without a grumble, she took off her dress and gave it to that child. Now she had nothing left but her little shirt. It grew dark and the wind was very cold. Thus she crept into the bushes to sleep for the night. In the bushes, a child was lying weeping. "I am chilled to the bone." Here, chilled to the bone means feeling very cold. Okay. She sobbed. Sobbed means in crying voice. "Give me your little shirt." The little girl thought, "It is dark and the bushes will shelter me, so I should give her my little shirt." She gave it. Now she had nothing left. In the night, she sat looking up at the sky to say her night prayers. As she looked up, the whole sky full of stars fell in a shower around her feet. There they were on the ground, shining bright and twinkling. The little girl saw them turning into food, clothes and gold coins. And in the midst means in the middle, of them was the finest little dress, all woven out of warm wool. The little girl put on the little dress and had meal heartily. Then she gathered the gold coins. Her endurance to bear pain and hunger for the sake of others have been truly rewarded by the God. So here what we have seen, that there was a little girl who was full of goodness and compassion, and she gave all her food and clothes to the needy persons. And at last of the story, God was overjoyed to see her kindness and she was rewarded for it. So what was the moral of the story? So the moral of the story was that if we do good to others, then God does good to us. Okay students, that was all about this story. Hope you enjoy this story and thank you so much for listening.